There's a kind of founder you admire. Those who take the hardest thing on their plate and they go hard until it's done. What costs you a week of procrastination and resistance, they do it before lunch every day. And you've thought these guys are built different. But after 10 years of researching human performance in business and working with 400 plus founders, I've found that they operate in exactly a different way, but it has nothing to do with IQ, discipline, or work ethic, and everything to do with how they rewire their brain for business. And it all hinges on keeping 3 gates open at all times. Get the sequence wrong and nothing sticks. And one of these gates is invisible from the inside. You can't see yours, which is the exact one that is most likely keeping you stuck, unable to do the hard things you know are needed. I'll show you which one this is, how to open it, and how to consistently keep these 3 gates open so you can have the same performance. Now, how many times have you sit down to do outreach and then you suddenly find yourself managing email instead and you call yourself lazy? Well, that inbox detour isn't laziness, it is your nervous system doing its job. It's a brain that reads a task as a threat, has exactly one agenda: escape. The inbox is the escape. And between you and any hard task, 3 gates have to open for you to do that hard task. Gate 1 is your nervous system. Before your brain decides anything, your physiology decides whether you're safe. And if you're not safe, nothing else gets through. Gate 2 is your subconscious mind. What the task means to your limbic system. If outreach means I'm about to be rejected, if firing means I'm a bad person, your brain treats like a hot stove and routes you around every time. And gate 3 is your conscious mind, whether you actually know what you need to do. Because if you don't, then fog reads as a threat. If the task isn't mapped, your brain inflates it and steers you towards something smaller that you can see the edges of. One gate stays shut and you do not execute cleanly. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how badly you want it. Now, if it's 3 gates, why did everything that you have been trying to do in the past years or decades didn't work? Well, let me show you, because it wasn't your fault. You never had the tools built for the job. So think about people who told you to do meditation or watch courses or affirmations. Each one worked for somebody you know, but they didn't work for you. So you decided it was probably you. Well, the problem is that they do not open the 3 gates at the same time. You can be in a cold plunge or meditating, being perfectly calm, and the task still be undone. Every tool you have tried in the past opened 1 gate, and it was silent about the other 2. Meditation, breathwork, cold plunges, they open gate 1. They have the nervous system calm. Affirmations, mindset work, journaling, that only opens gate 2. And if you do them while your body's in alarm, they bounce off because a brain scanning for danger doesn't encode new meaning. Now, courses, planners, productivity systems, that's gate 3 only. You have maximum clarity, but 0 movement because you still treat that as a threat or you don't believe it's important. So when you fail, it's not that you're not in discipline. Is that you were running 1 gate solutions on a 3 gate problem, and the gates only open in sequence. First your nervous system, then your subconscious mind, finally your conscious mind. Get the order wrong and nothing holds, which is why you may have been procrastinating for the same task for months, if not years. Now, here's the map that tells you which gate is jamming you right now on any given task. Think about it. Some tasks, you crush them. Others, you avoid them for months, and you can't predict which is which. So every week, there's also some element of randomness. Think the one task right now that you have the exact playbook for, you still haven't done. You know every step, you still don't do it. That's obviously not a knowledge problem because you know how to do it. It's a fear response that is keeping you stuck. And based on the relationship between knowledge and execution, you can be in 4 different states, set by 2 dials: how complex something feels and how much resistance you feel. Grinding is high complexity, high resistance. You don't get it and you hate it. Competence, still complex, but you stop fighting yourself. Progress without leverage. Then you have the trap: low complexity, high resistance. You know exactly what to do, you still don't do it. And finally, mastery: low complexity, low resistance. You know what to do, you're cool with doing it, you master it. The entire game in business is moving every task to mastery. If something is too complex, you systematize it. If you have too much resistance, you recode it. And that's the key move. Because if you think about it, you can have the best systems in the world, but if you have subconscious resistance towards the task, you're not going to do it. So here's the recoding protocol that we use with our clients that allows them to improve their subconscious response towards the second gate and get good at it. Is called recoding. Imagine, for instance, that you need to do outreach today and your subconscious thinks, I'm about to be rejected. So it generates resistance. It fires up the survival response. Well, recoding flips the polarity. It trains your limbic system so that resistance is interpreted as a sign that you need to do it. The first step is to lock the trigger. It's understand exactly what triggered you, because you can't rewire what you can't see. So if it's, for instance, outreach, you log outreach. Then first thing you do is center your nervous system, gate 1. You do 60 to 90 seconds of physiological downshift, ideally breath work, so you can center yourself. Then gate 2, you rewrite the meaning. If you have to fire someone, it doesn't mean you are a bad person. It means that you need to protect the company. If you do outreach, it's not that you don't think I'm about to be rejected. You think I'm collecting my future clients. This only sticks in a calm body. Again, if you are activated, it won't work. And finally, gate 3, you systematize everything. You map it, you template, you sequence, you understand what needs to happen for you to be successful doing that. And then you do it. You execute. You literally prove to yourself that you have the 3 gates open. And every time you complete a rep, that polarity, that resistance that was created flips to the point that over time you start moving to the mastery state in every task that you're currently avoiding. And I remember one of my founders came to me 6 months ago. He would describe himself as anxious, perfectionist, broken attention span, avoiding outreach like crazy. Now he was successful. He was at 10 to 12K a month and he just couldn't do more outreach. He was just focused on delivering to his previous clients. So we opened gate 1 first. We trained him to activate his relaxation response to stay centered. Then we work on gate 2, the perfection, the limiting beliefs, what doing outreach actually meant. And then he already had, to be honest, the perfect gate 3 protocols. He knew exactly how to do outreach. He'd done it in the past. 6 months later, he's 4x in revenue. He's approaching 50K. Not because he suddenly grew smarter, because he did way more outreach, because he has been able to keep the 3 gates open, nervous system, subconscious mind, and conscious mind, every single day. And he has gone from 2 hours of focus per day to 8+. Same person, just knowing how to manage his brain. And it always works this way. Think about Goggins, right? 300 pounds, overweight, afraid of water, and then he goes through butt training twice. Every single part of his method, the cookie jar is gate 2. Do something that sucks every day is literally a rep under stress. Literally, he has trained himself through his own protocol to keep the nervous system calm, the subconscious mind aligned with the conscious mind, and very clear on what he needs to do. And this also worked for Kobe Bryant, this worked with Ray Dalio. They all have a variation of the same 3-gate protocol. They need to feel calm to actually think about doing something. They need to feel that it's important, and they need to have the right playbook to execute. That's how you succeed. And this protocol is universal because you're always facing resistance. What scares you at 6 figures is outreach. What scares you at 7 figures is hiring. What scares you at 8 figures is letting go, at least according to my experience. And every new fear is just a new rep. And every rep builds the one asset that no competitor can copy, which is years of proof that no task stays undone long enough. And now the invisible gate. I told you there was one gate that was invisible. And that is obviously gate 2, because you cannot see what are your subconscious defaults. The beliefs you need to rewrite are those who do not even question. So gates 1 and 3, you can check from the outside. Is my heart racing? Am I nervous? You know that. And do I know what you need to do? Do you have the right playbook? You also know that. But you need help, a tracking system, an accountability mechanism to make the unconscious conscious, as Carl Jung put it. That's the invisible gate. In fact, Ray Dalio built a whole company around radical transparency, so he would not be blindsided by his own subconscious when making decisions. See, the elite doesn't grow outside eyes. They graduate to a better way of looking at every task they need to do. And the best way that I know to immediately show you what are the patterns that you're running that are consistently keeping you stuck is a 3-minute founder score that we put together with data from more than 400 founders we've been working with that is going to tell you exactly what is keeping you stuck, quantifying the cost, and giving you a playbook for you to rewrite it on your own. You can find it down below. See you in the next video.